Bonjour à tous. I see that some of you know French already. Okay, so it's very difficult to be there after my esteemed French culture and to develop the French language. But we have lots of common points, in fact. Because as you know, France, the gastronomy in France, the hospitality in France is very important. It's like a religion, I would say. Because it's a huge tradition for many centuries, as in India. And also, we love gastronomy. We love to eat. We love cuisine. We love the experience. For example, you know that there is many restaurants of 3 stars Michelin, and if you are as lucky to go there, it is the price of a trip in Europe, 2-3 days. But I was lucky to go there once in Marseille. There is a 3 stars restaurant, and it's true. I don't regret. And at this time, it represented the half of my salary, just to enjoy one dinner. But I was very young. I fall in love to impress a girl. But anyway, it worked. But besides this part, now, 15 years, 10 years after, when I thought about this, I think about the experience. It's true. Because all was perfect. And when I organize an event in Kolkata or abroad, it is also my expectation. All must be perfect. I have in my mind the series of concerts of Eastern classical music that we have organized in the Victoria Memorial Hall. We brought the best musician. I thought the last one, the trio of female musicians for the International Women's Day. All was perfect, really. It's like they played the masterpiece. When I was at the 3 stars Michelin restaurant called Le Petit Nice in Marseille, it was perfect too. It was a ballet of waiters. Not so much present, not so much absent. They just anticipate in the right way my needs at this time. And the work of the chef, it was an artist. At this level, it's not a chef, it's an artist. Yes. Like the great composer. It was a symphony of flavors. You start at the beginning and you don't know what you will find after. But at the end, and 15 years after, you keep an unforgettable memory. So that's also your responsibility. That's your duty. To participate, to build for the customer this kind of experience. And another fact that in France, as you know, we are the first world touristic destination all over the world. Yes. We welcome the same numbers of people than there is the French inhabitants. 70 millions. So we are 70 millions of French people, and we welcome 70 millions of foreigners. So that's why hospitality is very important for us too. Another thing that we could develop in your school, because now we met a few days ago, yes, the ceremony of Times Bengal icons. Right. Very good wording. Yes. And but now I'm very happy to be there, because also I think about the possibility of partnership that we could have. So first, also I think that the student mobility. I was informed that every year yes, really, it was, I was very nice, very happy. I was not worthy. You could make a big round of applause for your CEO. Because he was But life brings some very good meetings and very good people in your life, so that's why. So, student mobility. Because I know that this school, this institute, sent interns to work in France, some restaurants, and I think it's a good experience. But we could also go forward and move forward and to have a partnership with a French institute.
Right.
Because why it's interesting? I work. My job is to live abroad and to build cultural bridges between different cultures. So I did it in Argentina, I did it in Ukraine before war, and now I'm so happy to do it in the cultural capital of India, Kolkata. So this experience also will make you more open. Will bring you soft skills, I think, like brotherhood, like curiosity, like more understanding of the difference. And why I say this? Because it's connected to your future job in India or abroad. When I asked to the general manager of hotel, and we had the pleasure to have lunch with the general manager of ITC Bengal, and now also with Johnson, but also I used to speak with the general manager of Novotel. And when I asked them, what is the main quality that you look for during a recruitment? So, okay, I expect that the academic profile, the experience. The first thing they say, and they have all the same answer. So it's a pity that he did, because he could say yes. It is the soft skill.
Yes.
It is how you will behave, how your humility, your awareness, your open-mindedness, your way to behave in a team. And I strongly believe that after an experience abroad, these kind of skills are reinforced, or developed, or raised. Because when you go abroad, you discover a new culture. You go out of the comfort zone, because you don't speak the language, or just a little bit, but you are not expert. You don't catch the rules, the cultural rules, as you will get. Because if you serve a foreigner, you say, okay, it's a customer, but you have to understand a little bit, you have to feel him or her. So it will bring you this kind of qualities. So that's why also I think that my mission is also relevant here, because we have lots of things in common. Voilà. So after another project that I can speak also with the founder, it's we have this partnership with another institute of hospitality management. If you want to learn French, there is also a possibility that we can have an agreement, crash courses or something like this, just to give you the basics. It is also possible. So many perspectives, and if you have a question, or just before, because just by curiosity, I would like to know, what do you know about French culture, about France? So maybe if you can just give me some words connected, according to you, to the French culture. What represents for you? Just like this, just few words like this. Don't be shy. There is no wrong answer. Just for me to catch what you know about France. Yes.
A French word which is called comme ci, comme ça.
Comme ci, comme ça. Okay. So.
So that's what I relate to most of the time. That's why.
Okay. So thank you. Another word connected that represents for you the French culture. In another school, I have Eiffel Tower, I have croissant, but other words like this. Yes? No?
So there's a...
Yes?
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Yes, it's very important to be polite. So in your work. Okay. So yeah.
French people are very warm-hearted.
Thank you. Thank you.
And women are more beautiful. Men are also handsome.
It's not only a cliche. Thank you. I will share the message. Okay. So no more representation that you have about France, except it is
French
far.
people are very fashionable.
Okay. Yes, the fashion.
French wines are one of the best in the world.
Ah, voilà. Because I visited your space and there is the name of the French wine in each room.
Right.
So Bordeaux, Jura,
French cuisine.
Bonne
Bonneuil. What is it, Bonneuil?
Say good night.
Ah, bonne nuit. Bonne nuit, yes. Okay, bonne nuit. So you know few words in French. Okay.
French cuisine is one of the richest cuisines in the world.
Oui, yeah, not only the Bengali cuisine is very famous. But thank you, but thank you for this too. But maybe you have a question about what I could. If you are interested by students, how many people in the
Many will be interested.
Okay, so the more this part. Okay. Well, if you have a
Regarding the hospitality line, but rather since you are born and brought up in a French attire, in a French, like you were born and brought up in France, right?
yes.
Okay, so how is India for you and how do you love us people and our hospitality?
I would say, in fact, I was in India the first time 8 years ago, not in Kolkata, in Bangalore, because at this time I attended a study tour of my executive MBA in France, and so I visited the main company, of the Indian Silicon Valley. So it was my first contact with India. And we used to say that India is like with people. You know, after 5 minutes, one day, if you will be friends or not. So in India, I knew from the beginning that I will come back. So now I'm here. Why? Because I was very touched, to answer to your question, by people. It's true that when my friend asked me, Calcutta, what is the life in India? So are you happy and why? I said, yes, I am happy because of people. Because it's really nice to have this experience in this country, and so I can imagine with your study, it must be about it's stout, it's shared with passion, also. So you are maybe the kindest people of the Indian people in hospitality.
What's the work culture in France?
The work.
Work culture in France.
Okay. I think it's like in India. It's very demanding, especially in the hospitality field, because we have also, like you, a huge pressure to keep the rank. Because if we are not at this level, after the tourists will say, in France I have a bad experience, and finally we will not welcome after so many. So hospitality is also a priority of the governments of France, because we encourage the training, the academics, the opening of a new school, new institutes. So it's very, very important. And in general, the work culture is at the center also of all of this, because it's a way to develop economy. And I speak about the tourism, but for example, I was born in the south of France, in Marseille. So it's the French Riviera, So tourism connected to hospitality and connected to economy, it's a very important subject, because all this territory, the majority of this territory also expect a lot of this. It's a region that brings so many employees in the hospitality fields. And after COVID, it was really hard, by the way, because people must have to find another job, and so we felt really the effects also.
Thank you.
And my question would be like, as an Indian, what's the chance of getting job in France, and how can we make our career long there?
Okay, very good question. So, in fact, we really appreciate to welcome the foreigner students in France, because it brings new skills. And the French government and the French embassy used to propose a special program like scholarship. So it's the beginning. If you want to go to France, you can receive a scholarship. It means that the cost of the fees will be 200 euros. It means nothing. It doesn't mean that it's not valuable, because it's the same cost than in UK or in US. So I think it's 15,000 euro per year, but you will never pay this amount, because France finance the cost of the studies for all the French people and also for the foreigners through this program. So this is the first thing. After, you can stay 1-2 years, and you can stay more after you study during 1 or 2 years also, or more, because you have an extension of the visa. It is in the law. And in the field of hospitality, as we have lots of demand, and unfortunately, sometimes during the high season in summer, the manager, they have difficulty to fill the demand because of the lack of workers, of qualified workers. So even if we have lots of school and something, but we receive lots of demand, and so it's a challenge also. So the fact to welcome students all over the world, it brings experience for you, and for France, we manage also, you are very useful too. So we are very grateful to share this kind of exchange. And I think it's a win-win.
Yes.
The citizenship?
Yes, sir.
Alors, bon, I would say the easiest way is to marry a French girl. But for this, you have to follow the program of mobility student, but with no success guarantee. I don't know. No, after, to be serious, but it's a kind of serious question, but you can, after 5 years, you can apply. But you have to prove that you have stayed 5 years in France, you have worked, and you speak French a little bit, so there is an exam, and after you can become French. Okay, it is the law. You're welcome.
Favorite Indian food till now?
Alors, I had the pleasure to experience very good dish and meal today, and I would say in Kolkata I really like bekti. Bekti, the fish, and also bekti. Sorry about my pronunciation.
Correct.
Is it bekti?
Correct.
And also
In Bengali, there is betki, but when you pronounce in English, bekti.
bekti.
Correct.
So I forgot the name in Bengali, but I really like also the fish with mustard and underneath
Paturi.
paturi.
In banana leaf, there are.
Well, no, it's you know, I come from France, and it's near Mediterranean Sea, and I spoke with some chief and I said, do you see some common point between Mediterranean cuisine and Bengali cuisine? Because I feel sometimes, and in particular when the fish is cooked, similarities. And it's true, in fact, because it's a cuisine with a strong behavior. Where in the south of France we use some herbs, you will use spices. But of course it's different. But maybe the process and the way to touch the flavors, the experience, we can also say that it's the same. It for example, completely different of the cuisine in the north of France, because it is with butter. But in south we use mainly oil, also olive oil. So voilà, that's why I thought similarities about this.
In France, is there really 17 classical course like of menus?
17 what?
17 classical course of French. Do they still follow that?
17 in one menu? Or no, in one menu?
Course of menu.
Course of menu.
Course, he's talking the course. Like
17 courses of menu.
entree,
No.
although
Okay, no.
So,
Boss.
one of faculty will reframe the question to you once again.
Okay, no, I just answer
So
here.
in our syllabus, we have 17 classical courses of menu like Odo, Potage, O, Farina, Pozo, Entrée, this kind of things. We have got 17 courses of menu. They just want to know if that is real or not.
That's why. Okay. So you try to trap me. Okay. So no, usually it depends. For example, when I spoke about my experience in the Michelin 3-star restaurant, Le Petit Nice, I think there is a series of courses, but because it is this level of restaurant. But usually, I will say it's 90% of the restaurant in France, so it's average, but in the average there is also a very good level of cuisine. You have the starters, you have let's say les entrées. Just before you can have amuse-bouche, it's appetizer, starters, after the main courses. You can choose, in France you don't choose between veg or non-veg. You choose between fish or meat. So, of course, if you ask to have a veg courses, you will get also. And after you have the cheese, the plate of cheese, and the dessert. And after the digestive, cognac, also like this. Voilà, this is the classical, but at the very high level restaurant, of course, you have many courses, because from the start to the end, it's like a symphony, like I said before. So you have many movements. Of course.
So who is the favorite player, sir?
But I know that Calcutta is a city of football.
Football,
Of course, with two main teams. So, and I hope to attend this kind of one day, one match at the stadium.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Arvind Bhaj. Okay, my bad. It's evening. My students are asking you so many questions because I can say they are actually fascinated with France. Right now, 19 of our students, they're in France doing the internship. Not 19 are there, some of them have returned back. One is sitting right here. So total 35 students went abroad for the internship, and France we have got a what I can say very positive feedback about the work performance of our students. They have given us written gestures that your students are fabulous, working fantastic. We are getting regular updates, and my current second years they're also very eager to go there. I think one of those have asked what's the procedure of settling in France. Who asked that? Oh, so he's also eager to go to France only. Shreya, you want to share your experience? You're back from France only.
So, sir, my name is Shreya Neogi, and first of all, I want to say that 2 months back only I have returned from France. I have been working there for 6 months as an intern over there. So, I want to ask you a very simple question, that is, you have seen your French culture since your childhood and you have been working over in India for so many years. So, what one similarity and also what one difference do you find between the French hospitality culture as well as in the Indian hospitality culture? Thank you, sir.
Just before, by curiosity, which city have you been in France?
I have been working in Aubernay, sir.
Where?
Aubernay in the northern side of France.
Aubernay, okay.
It's like a small town.
Okay, in the north.
Aubernay, sir.
Okay. Okay, alors the similarity, alors, I would say hospitality, because one of the students said that definitely the other culture were inspired by the Indian hospitality, but it's true. But also you can be inspired by the other culture too. That is the meaning that I wanted to express about the exchanging. And this is the plus for everyone. So I will say this, the hospitality, and the difference, to say, the difference, and also another similarity, it is in comparison with the United States. For example, when you go to the United States, it's a very young country with not so much history. There is not my friend, the General Consul of USA here in the room. She will not be agreeing with me, maybe. But it's true that in India, what it is designing is the culture for ages, several millennia.
Yes.
In France, we share also with cultural history, because from the Middle Age, we have the cathedral, we have the testify of the past.
Yes.
And it means that we can build also our cultural identity based on this. The difference, I would say that honestly, I think that Indian people are more peaceful than the French. And it is mainly, for me, it's a mystery, because you know that the place where you can be very upset, it is in your car, in traffic jam. So in France, there is a honk and the people are very nervous and so on. And here, for foreigners, it looks totally the mess. But it's a very organized chaos. So, and this is very surprising.
Yes.
So I will say this.
Thank you so much.